and we are back with another episode. And joining me today, I've got Michaela Clarke. How's it going?
It's good. How are you, Cody?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for taking the time to chat today.
Absolutely. It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. For starters, for those watching who may not know you, tell us a little bit about yourself and where you come from.
Okay, well, my name is Michaela Clarke, and I am originally from Whitecourt, Alberta. And I moved to Nashville 7 years ago to pursue my dream and write with Nashville writers and get the Nashville sound and make Alberta proud. So that's what I've been doing. And I'm just loving every minute of it. I write for a publishing company in Nashville as well. And so it's really neat to be able to write for other artists as well as myself.
Amazing. And did you always want to move to Nashville, or is it just not something that just happened?
I did. I've always loved music since I was a little girl. And when I turned 21, my parents were like, you should go to Nashville and just see if you like it. And I've always been a homebody. So to leave my family, of course, I love Nashville, but to leave my family was hard. But now we have a direct flight to Nashville from Edmonton. So I'm really excited about that. But ever since I've been little, I've loved music. And like I said, my parents, gave me the opportunity to move there. And when I first went, I was like, I'm just going to go for like a year and just kind of see how it is. And then I met my husband down there. And so I've been there 7 years, like I said, and really, really like it down there. But it's always really nice to come home and see everybody and share what I've been doing.
Absolutely amazing. And growing up, so you've loved music since you're little. Was it in the household all the time? Were your parents musicians at all, or?
My parents love music, but my grandfather, he actually plays like every instrument you can think of. And so he was the one who kind of inspired me to play guitar and piano. So I've just always grown up with it. But my mom loves to sing, and my dad, I mean, we all love country music and rock and roll, every genre. So
Every genre. So they're like, just go for it. Get out
yes,
there and go for it.
live your dream. So I'm really fortunate and thankful that they've given me that opportunity.
Amazing. All right. And when I was kind of doing some research on you, I found something pretty cool. A few years ago, you released a song featuring Terri Clark.
Yes. And so Terry, it was really neat because, of course, we have the same last name, but they're spelt differently. So we're not related. But the first concert I ever went to, I think I was 3, was a Terri Clark concert. And so my producer and engineer at the time, he was Terri Clark's tour manager for several years. And so he knew her, and he had shown her, I guess, one day the song Second to the Whiskey, and she really liked it. And I was like, oh my gosh, I was like, do you think that she would want to sing on it? And he showed it to her, and she really liked it. And so she agreed to come and sing. And it was really cool. It was a really like full circle for her to come in, because I was like, when I was 3, I saw her, and then now she's singing on my single. So it was really neat to get to know her and just be able to sing with her.
That's amazing. How does that feel? That would be pretty cool. Your very first concert, big influence of yours, and now she's on one of your songs.
Yeah, it was really surreal. And she was so kind, and just, it was a really great, great experience.
Amazing. That's awesome. And you also, so we were talking earlier, type 1 diabetes, you have that as well, but you volunteer and help out with young kids and young adults and stuff.
Yes.
Just tell us a little bit about that. And because I know you still volunteer now that you're in Nashville as well, right?
Yes, I did. So when I was, gosh, that was several years ago, because like I said, I moved to Nashville 7 years ago. But before I moved to Nashville, I was an ambassador at the JDRF, the Juvenile Diabetes Research Foundation in Edmonton. And I actually wrote a song for type 1 diabetics, just to let them know that I can relate. And, if you take care of yourself, you will be okay, even though you have challenging and difficult days. But when I moved to Nashville, I really wanted to continue with that and just help out wherever I could. And so I did. I went to the JDRF chapter in Nashville and helped out. And I just went to some of the walks and some of the galas that they had, and mailed out posters and, just kind of things like that. And then recently, when the pandemic hit, I've always wanted to be a nurse. And so when the pandemic hit, of course, music had kind of slowed down a little bit. And I thought, you know what? They had a year program, which for an LPN, and it was an accelerated program. Usually it's 2 years, but they had this 1 year program. And I said to my family and husband, I was like, I'm just going to apply. I've always wanted to be a nurse. And if I get in, it's meant to be. And if not, then it's not. And I did get accepted. And so I actually just graduated last month from nursing. And so I'm really, really excited for that. And I was actually offered a position at a diabetes clinic in Nashville. And so with juvenile diabetics, pediatrics. And so I'll be working with little kids who have diabetes. And I'm just so excited to be able to share my music with them. Hopefully I can even sing my diabetes song to them and just be the singing nurse and be able to just let them know that if they take care of themselves, they will be okay, and just continue that positivity.
Absolutely. And what advice, like, so I guess you kind of just said it, but what advice would you give to someone who's going through what you go through?
Well, I think the main thing is just to just keep strong.
Yeah.
There's a lot of days that are difficult, but if you take care of yourself, you can be healthy. And, I think having my family's always been super supportive. And I mean, my mom would get up at 3 a.m. for several years. I mean, I was diagnosed when I was 8 and moved away when I was 21. So for all those years, she would get up at 3 a.m. and check my blood sugar and, pack my lunch. And my dad, he was very supportive too. He'd get up with me if my blood sugar was low, and we'd have snacks in the middle of the night. And my sisters, they were very supportive as well, and my husband. And so I think just having that community and that support has really helped me with my diabetes to continue that positive, when things get tough, having them to kind of lean back on. They're like, it's okay, you can do it, sort of thing. That was always really nice for me to have that. So I think just kind of finding that support group, to encourage you on the tough days. And if they don't have that, I would love to be somebody that they reach out to as well, to let them know that I've been there, and, it is difficult some days, but it can be okay as well.
That's amazing. I love that you still, even through the music and moving, that you still want to be a part of it. That's amazing.
Absolutely. I mean, it's a huge part of my life. It's a full-time job having type 1 diabetes, but
Really?
being able to share it with others and, just let them know that I can relate really, really fills my heart.
Absolutely. Yeah. I have Crohn's disease myself, so it's I kind of understand what it,
Absolutely.
dealing with all that kind of stuff and
Yeah, that's a daily thing you have to deal with too.
absolutely. So, I mean, it's amazing. Amazing to see.
Well,
So,
thank you.
all right. Talking about music now, if someone's never heard your music before, how would you describe your sound to them?
Well, I love 90s country music, but I also love I don't even know what you'd really call it, but the inner rhymes and the pop side of it. And so it's traditional, but has a bit of a pop twist to it, I would say. Kind of like Leanne Womack, Kelsey Ballerini combined, maybe.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm not sure if that's accurate, but that's kind of how I feel that it would be.
All right, that's fair. That's fair. What about influences and artists who inspire you? Do you have kind of someone that inspires you more towards songwriting itself and then performing itself?
I really love Keith Urban. I've always loved Keith. He just seems like such a sweet soul. And I actually met him in Edmonton one time at a concert, and he was just so sweet. I told him I was moving to Nashville, and he's like, "Oh, baby, well, maybe I'll see you there," with his Australian accent. I was like, "Oh my gosh." I was like,
Yeah.
but I really loved Keith and Miranda Lambert. Elvis is one of my favorites. He
Okay.
just, yes. And so if you ever get to go to Nashville, you need to check out Graceland in Memphis. It is amazing. It's so inspiring. So, and Dolly Parton, we've also been to Dollywood, which you just leave inspired after you've been there too. So I have a lot of artists. There's so much talent in the world that I just get inspired by a lot of different artists and music.
Amazing. And going to these places in Nashville, what you're saying is hit you up when I go to Nashville, right?
Yes, yeah, you've got my number. You can call me. I'll
Yeah.
take you up to Bar Taco. It's a great taco place.
Perfect. I do love tacos, so this
There you
works.
go. It's awesome.
Perfect. My dad is a huge Elvis fan. That's
Is he?
I didn't expect you to say Elvis. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, so I'm actually in Canada visiting family right now, but in my music room at home, I have probably 5 Elvis posters on my wall.
That is awesome. That's great.
Yeah.
You have a new single out, Nice Guys.
Yes.
Tell us about it and how it all came together.
Well, so I wrote it with Megan Garrett and Aaron Goodman, and I just love Aaron. He's so talented and has such a kind soul. And so him and I were wanting to write another song together. And he was like, I've got this girl that she'll be really great to bring in. And I was like, okay, perfect. So it was Megan. And we were just in there talking and, just about everything, life. And I had been talking about my sister and everything. And, with guys, she's younger and she has a really nice boyfriend now. But at the time, as the protective older sister, I was like, she just needs a nice guy.
Right.
I was like, oh my gosh. And Megan was like, I really like that title. And Aaron did too. And so we just ran with that and just, letting the nice guys know that, I know they always say, oh, nice guys finish last, but nice guys are the right guys. And so girls just hold out for the nice guy.
Just hold out for the nice guy. Yeah, love it.
They're the good ones.
They're the good ones. Love it. And available on all platforms?
It sure is.
Awesome. And you have some co-writers on it. What is your favorite thing about co-writing?
I like that they bring different aspects to it. And so, like, for instance, with Aaron, he is so good with melodies. And so, which is something that I'm not super strong in. And so I can play guitar and everything, but I feel like too, as an artist, you still have a similar sound as an artist, but when you bring somebody else in, it just brings a whole different sound and inspires you so much more. And so I love writing with him. And Megan too, she's great with lyrics and with being in the pocket and just finding that kind of hit sound. And so to write with them is just awesome because they bring a lot to the table that, I need help with. And so, and I think that when they do that as well, it inspires you differently with your ideas. And so I love writing with Aaron and Megan and everybody that I've written with. It's just really fun to get their ideas on it and have them share their talent as well.
Awesome. And when you write by yourself, where do you get most of your inspiration from? Just
life in general. Yeah. I mean, I feel like that's, as an artist and as a songwriter, if I get upset or if I'm happy, I always go to my guitar. And I find that's just kind of the way that I can express myself. And that's what I've always done since I was a little girl. So I'm really happy I can still do it now. Absolutely.
And going back to your single there, do you have plans for a music video at all?
Well, since we were talking prior to doing this recording, and so I might have to hit you up on that.
You could do that. Yeah, awesome. We can talk. I think that'd be fun. Put something together for it.
That would be awesome. Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. Do you have any shows lined up people can look forward to? We know you're in Nashville, but
yeah. So currently not yet, but I've been working with some people to hopefully kind of get the ball rolling now that COVID is, I don't want to say over, but things are starting to open up a bit more. And so I would really love to be able to come back up here and play a few shows and down in Nashville too. And so that's just kind of the goal right now, is we're just working together to see what we can kind of do and what we can get rolling.
Amazing. All right. What is next for you?
Well, I'm going to be starting my new job in Nashville. And so I'm really excited for that, to be with my pediatric diabetics, but also just continuing to write at my publishing company. And if there's any opportunities that come up that I can play writer rounds and, anything like that, or to come home and play a few shows, that's what I'm going to be doing. So just being the singing nurse.
Love it. Are you coming back for Stampede at all, or any festivals out here?
I would love to. So if I can, if they have that direct flight now from Edmonton to Nashville. So if I can hop on one of those to get up here, I certainly will. I would love to.
Awesome. Because I'll be there. So.
Well, okay. I've never been to the Stampede. As close as I've lived there most of my life. So I need to go.
You absolutely need to come. See, I need to come to Nashville. You need to come to Stampede.
See, absolutely.
We'll swap. I'll show you around Stampede.
That would be great. And I'll show you around Nashville.
Perfect. All right, Michaela, last thing. Tell everyone where they can find you on social media.
All right. I am on Facebook, which is Michaela Clarke Music, Twitter, Michaela Clarke 8. 8's my lucky number. And michaelaclarke.com.
Perfect. All right, guys, go grab her newest single, Nice Guys. And Michaela, I appreciate you taking the time today.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Cody. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. And stay in touch and we'll definitely talk soon.
That sounds great. Take care.
All right. Take care.